Hello, my name is Anna-Marie Ortloff, and I'm happy to present to you today the work I did together with my co-authors Maximiliane Windel, Valentin Schwind, and Niels Hense on privacy icons. Why are we even interested in privacy icons? Well, the current state of the practice to implement the principle of notice and choice are privacy policies, but they're not very good at that. Privacy policies are long, they're abstract, and they're hard to understand for users. So the users often don't read them. On the other hand, privacy icons can help with getting the gist of the privacy policy content through visualization. And even the GDPR, which is active in Europe since 2018, recommends using them, even though there's not currently an official icon set published. Consequently, for our work, we got the icons from previous work and also from the internet, and we adjusted them to make them more similar. We also looked to see how they fit into the categories from usableprivacy.org. This website analyzed privacy policy content and found 9 different main categories and several different attributes and attribute values. The icons you see here are for the main categories of data retention, third-party collection and sharing, and first-party collection and use. And the attribute value icons on the right side are for the personal information type attribute and the purpose attribute, for example, for the purpose of advertising, research, or for legal purposes. In our first study, we looked to understand how well users understand these privacy icons. And to do this, we conducted a survey with 38 participants, and we presented the participants the icons and asked them to describe their meaning. And we found that icon comprehensibility was pretty low in general. As you can see here, for most of the icons, most of the responses were either wrong or participants directly stated that they did not know what the icon meant. For the attribute value icons, which represent a little more concrete concepts, the results were better, and there were some icons where most of the participants at least got the meaning somewhat correct, but still there were a lot of wrong answers or cases where the participants didn't know the meaning. So we conducted a second study to see if we could teach participants the meaning of icons. And we didn't want to do this by just sitting them down, showing them the meaning of the icons, and asking them to learn that by heart. Because, let's be honest, that's not realistic. So instead, we devised a browser extension which would show the icons together with some accompanying text snippets to the participants repeatedly over the course of 2 weeks. We got the text snippets again from usableprivacy.org, so they were from real privacy policies, and we showed participants a pop-up, as you can see in the screenshot, repeatedly over the 2 weeks. And before and after the study, we asked them to fill out a questionnaire on icon comprehension. And this questionnaire, apart from the privacy icons, also included control icons from the medical domain, which were also very abstract and complex, but which the participants were not exposed to during the intervention. We found that icon knowledge improved significantly compared to before the intervention and after intervention for the privacy icons, but not for the control icons, where the icon knowledge stayed roughly the same. So we can suggest that our process improved the icon knowledge. We also asked for participant feedback. And the participants stated that the icons were hard to understand for them at the beginning, and they focused more on the text. But as the study went on and they got to know the icons, they started focusing more on the icons and less on the text, and the icons became more useful to them. They also stated that they didn't like the pop-up. And this is to be expected because this pop-up interrupted their normal browsing behavior. However, we had elected to use this pop-up to ensure that participants saw the icon and had to interact with them in some way, if only to dispel the pop-up. But in a normal browsing situation, this would disturb the participants. But they gave some suggestions for different presentation means. For example, one participant said that they could imagine using the plugin if the icons were shown at a more discrete place, for example, close to the browser URL bar. And a different participant stated that they would have liked to see the icons integrated in the search engine result page, for example, on Google, so that you could get the privacy information about the website you were about to visit. To sum it up, privacy icons, like the concepts behind them and like privacy policies, are hard to understand for users. But we found that their meanings can be learned even without dedicated training, merely through repeated exposure. Our participants stated that the icons became more useful to them over time, as they became familiar with them. But they were not happy with the presentation of the icons in a pop-up as it was in the study, and instead provided several different suggestions for how to improve this. I think this presentation issue would be an especially interesting one to discuss with you and Cheer. If you want to follow up on this line of work, we provide our study material, including the browser extension and the icons on GitHub, and I'm available for any questions via email or at Cheer. Thank you!